Welcome to Mulu and welcome to our Mulu Caves guide. Now after a short flight you're going to find yourself in this small airport in Mulu and then you're going to be heading off to the caves. So let's take a look. Behind me is not the mines of Moria, which is what it looks like. It's actually Clearwater Cave in the Mulu Hills. And we're going to take a quick look at this one, Deer Cave, Lang Cave, and I forget the name of the other one, but there's 4 of them. Let's get into it. Now we booked our tours through the Marriott because we were staying there, and also we arrived late into Mulu, so to be able to book them for the next day was very difficult, and we only stayed for 3 days, so we decided just to go with it. Now the bonuses of doing that are you get picked up straight from the Marriott, and you also get a little longer and a little longer on your own in the caves, so you get it much more peaceful than if you go in a big group. You also get a longer river ride, which is what we're on at the moment, and this was one of the highlights of the trip. You get to go up and down actually at Borneo River, seeing the sights, seeing the villages, doing your selfies as we're doing right now. And then about 15 minutes in, because it's probably about a 20-minute drive to the actual first cave, you stop at a local village, and that local village has a market. Now we were very lucky on the first day, the weather was perfect, there wasn't much rain, and the river was low. However, the second day it did flood, and if you do look at our Marriott hotel video, you can see how much that river can go up in a very, very short time. Now at the market, as I said, they've got handicrafts for sale, they've got bags that you can see there, and you can see our guide doing much better with the blowpipe than I did. He actually managed to hit both. I hit one and then hit the floor, which I'm not going to show you, but I will show you me giving it a go. That missed. It's only about maybe 10-15 minutes that you spend there, and then you go another 5 minutes up the river and you come to the Wind Cave. Now if you do find it difficult to walk, then this trip, both of these caves that we did, there's a lot of steps. This one was the easier one. You walk up the steps and you come to the entrance, maybe 5-10 minute walk. There, the entrance to Wind Cave. The entrance to the Wind Cave. I think because there's a gap on the other side that blows through. Wind Cave is famous for the King's Chamber, which is at the end of this section of the video. But it's called Wind Cave because there are entrances and skylights all over the place. This cave system is over 200 kilometers long, and the wind blows through, and it's actually quite cooling. As I said earlier, the weather when we went was really good, so there wasn't much of a breeze. You can hear some bats in this video, I think, and you can definitely see some of the movement on the ceiling, but it's nowhere near as many bats as Deer Cave. Now, as I said before, we did go with the Marriott, so we were the first people in the cave, and we were the ones that unlocked the door. They keep it locked to make sure that people don't go in and start messing with it without guides. There are a lot of steps in the cave, and it is a loop, so you're going in and then you're coming back out the same way. And when we come back out the same way later in the video again, you are going to see some of those big groups that come in, and you might want to choose how you do this cave, whether you want to do it on your own or whether you want to do it in a larger group. Now about 10 minutes walk in, you come to this huge skylight, and it really is, and I don't think the video does it justice. It's about 60 meters up there, and then below there's another 60-meter drop, and who knows what's at the bottom of that. It is absolutely crazy to see this. And on the left-hand side, which I'll show you in a little while, they have the same formations that actually make up the pinnacles, which are the limestone spikes, I suppose, at the top of the mountain. but here they're really small and they're formed by small bacteria eating away, there we go, at the limestone. Now these are a very small version of it, but the pinnacles are 30 meters tall, but the pinnacles are a very difficult hike and climb to. So we kind of settled for seeing the little ones inside the cave. Now after about 15-20 minutes walking in and looking at the information boards on the way, you'll come to the King's Chamber or the Emperor's Chamber. And it got its name because when you shine the torch on a particular rock, the shadow looks like the face of a king or an emperor. Now I didn't kind of see that. To me it looked like something out of Star Wars actually, but that's how it got its name long time ago. A King's Chamber is a loop and it's very impressive to go around. There are huge stalactites and stalagmites. I forget which ones go up and which ones come down, but most of them, because this cave is old, have met in the middle and are now just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and you can see some examples here. Now being here on your own or just with your guide is quite the experience. It is really nice to have the silence, just the sound of the bats or the scuttling of whatever insect you can't see that's in the dark without anybody else. And after about 45 minutes we started to hear voices, and these were the groups that were coming from the park. The park does tours. Now as I said, the park tours are way cheaper. I mean way cheaper. But for a once in a lifetime experience, maybe twice if you get rained off like we did, I think the extra money was worth it just to be there on our own. So as the way the world works, when we did actually meet the group that were coming from the park, we met them in the narrowest part of the cave. So we all had to wait for each other to be able to pass and to be able to go back down as they were coming up. This is going to happen, obviously. It's a very popular place to go. Now, when you're going back out of the cave, it is as impressive a view as when you come in. More so maybe because you actually see the light streaming in. There are a lot of steps, and obviously you do have to go up and down, so be aware of that if you have mobility issues. And especially on the way down, it is a little harder on your knees. Now, when you finish this cave, it's about 5 or 10 minutes on the boat again to go to Clearwater Cave.
So, 1 down, 3 to go.
So as you come out, you can take a little bit more time to look at the info boards and then head back down the stairs. They can be a little slippy in the rain, but they have put ridges on them. But I would wear proper shoes. Don't go in there in flip-flops or anything like that. Once you've done it, back on the boat and 5 or 10 minutes to the next cave, which is Clearwater Cave.
Sorry? Come.
Now Clearwater Cave comes with a little picnic area or a little place to have lunch and a little swimming place. So you get off the boat and you head there first. Now it's called Clearwater. The clue is in the name is because the water is very clear. At least it was quite clear. They have had a lot of rain in the last few weeks when we were there. We went in February. And the water was clear, but not crystal clear.
Must be fish in there somewhere as well.
Yeah. Now a little bit of a warning for people who don't like steps. There are 200 to the entrance of Clearwater Cave. They are definitely worth taking, but take your time, just like I was doing there. I was actually putting the hiking activity on my watch because I at least wanted the credit for doing this. My wife, who is much fitter than me, managed to run up the stairs.
Clearwater Cave. And I'm being summoned.
Now, as I said in the very first clip of the caves at the beginning of this video, this one was really impressive. The size of it, the fact that it did look like a film set, it looked like something out of Lord of the Rings. I did expect Gandalf and the hobbits and the dwarves to come running past any second because of the size, the stairs going up and down, the way the lighting works. It was really impressive. I can't compare it to the other two because we didn't get to do Deer Cave or Lang Cave because of the rains that we had overnight that again you can see in the Marriott video that we have on the channel. But as my first cave or my first caving experience, this is what I imagined. Now I don't know why, and I talk about this later on. I didn't expect it to be this good. I thought it would be a little bit darker, smellier, less cool, to be honest with you, but I was really impressed. And one of the things that impressed me the most is it has an underwater river flowing all the way through. Now apparently this river eventually comes out onto the river that we were on earlier, that we took the boat trip. And they did do little excursions, so you could hire a rubber ring or you could hire a canoe, and you could canoe down the river inside the cave. Now I couldn't quite get if they're still doing this. I think they might be, or if they've actually stopped. But I would have loved to have done that, to be able to go through the cave on a boat on this river, but we didn't. We just saw it walked past. Now again, the next day when the floods were up, they could still go to this cave, and that river was about 6 feet higher. I'm not sure how much fun it would have been if we'd have gone on a canoe then.
So yeah, this is way more impressive than I actually thought it was going to be. I don't know why I expected to be underwhelmed, but I did. I've turned up here and I've been blown away. From the Romanesque ruins like that one to a face that, to be fair, I can't see, to the just huge spectacle of nature that you can see here. Yeah, Mulu Caves, well done.
And as you're walking back out, you do a loop again. So you're heading back up the stairs with the welcome knowledge that when you get to the top of these much shorter set of stairs, you will actually be going downhill straight into the lunch and picnic area. One of the bonuses of the picnic area, as you can see, is there is a little pond that you can swim in. Now the water is cold, I did give it a go. And you are going to be watched by little squirrels that you can see there, and the snakes, but luckily no crocodiles. I did ask.
The most I'm going to do.
And that's as much as I was willing to do, because it was freezing and I didn't actually take my swimming costume, mainly because, honestly, irrational fear of crocodiles in Borneo and Sarawak. But I was assured there wasn't any, and everybody who went on the trip came back. So I think we can say they were telling the truth. And that's it. After you swim, you head back on the boat. And that's it. That's the guide to Clearwater Cave and the Cave of the Winds. Now, unfortunately, we didn't get to go to Deer Cave or Lang Cave because the weather came in and it literally raised the water levels by 6 feet, which means that the walkway to Deer Cave was actually flooded and there was no way of going past without going through chest deep water. We were told a funny story of someone who tried it and actually stood on a python. So we kind of gave up the idea after we heard that story. I'll put a little bit of footage of the Bat Exodus so you know what to expect. And if this video has been useful to you, or if you liked it, or if you want to see more, could you press like and subscribe, because it would really help us out. We're a new channel and we're growing. Thanks very much for watching and enjoy the rest of the video.
As you can see, the water is really high, which is why our tour to Deer Cave has been cancelled, which is a shame. but it is what it is. We had an awful lot of rain last night, like continuous proper rain. If you look over there, there's a lot more damage done than it appears to jetties and things, and the pathway to Deer Cave is broken, so we can't make it, which is a shame. But I will put some stock footage of what you can see if you do come here, and I strongly recommend that you do, because it really is quite impressive even when it rains.